No, this is a Pack and Roll remix. In case anybody's never heard of this game, it's an updated version of a DS game from 2005 by the name of Pack and Roll. This is on the Wii as part of the Namco Museum Remix and Namco Museum Mega Mix compilations. So, I'm just gonna go ahead and wait for I'm just gonna wait for them to be ready for a countdown. Alright, they're good, so let's go ahead and get started in 3, 2, 1, go! Alright, so the main movement tech in this game is quite simple. It's just you roll around, but you also have this boost feature which you get by just shaking the Wii remote. It propels you forward in one direction, and you can use it to break open boxes, gain a decent amount of speed, obviously. And you can also use it to, right there, which I didn't mean to do, you can use it to gain pretty decent height when becoming airborne on the slopes like that. So your main goal for most of these stages is just to get to the end as quickly as possible. And for most of these stages, that's going to involve getting through these green barriers you see me get through called Galvis gates. In order to get through them, you just need a specific number of pack dots, which you can see in the lower left-hand corner. And all these first few stages are pretty basic in terms of like just routing out. They're pretty straightforward, so there's not a lot to say about them. So anyway, I want to talk about real quickly, this game is technically any % NG+, where, as you can see, I already have the whole game kind of already beaten, and I have all 7 bars of health, which you get from the hidden pizzas hidden throughout the game. The reason why both of those are allowed is because this game autosaves, and it can be really annoying if you have autosave turned on to have to wipe your memory after every attempt, so it's allowed to already have the game beaten and to have like all your scores maxed out and whatnot, so that you don't have to worry about wiping your memory between attempts. Second level done. Now it's time for 1-3. So here you're going to be seeing me do the first slope boost of the run. It's kind of a mini slope boost, but it allows me to get a significant amount of air, and allows me to kind of skip that ramp. And here's boxes. So as you can see, whenever I'm boosting into these boxes, I'm actually pressing V to break Pac-Man in place so that he doesn't gain a huge amount of recoil from breaking the box. This is a strategy you'll be seeing me utilize very often, as it's really useful to keep Pac-Man from just like falling to his death. So these first few levels are actually pretty fast. This level 1-4 introduces us to the first power-up of the game, which is Night Pack, this thing here. So as you can see, Pac-Man is now a knight. He has a helmet, and he's a lot heavier now, and so he doesn't get a whole lot of height from like slipperies and stuff, but he can also travel underwater, and he can break those metal boxes, which normal Pac-Man can't do, and it's usually required. Alright, so I accidentally missed a couple pack dots there, so I have to go back and get them. That section of the level can be rather challenging. Alright, so now I just gotta have to get the end from here. That's the spikes. And now it's time for 1-5. This is supposed to be the introduction to the other power of the game, Light Pack. But I'm actually going to be skipping Light Pack for this level because it'll allow me to make a faster platform cycle, which saves around 8 seconds. Because normal Pac just moves faster on the ground. Light Pack, you'll get to see Light Pack abused several times throughout this film because it basically makes Pac-Man's physics really broken. Because he lasts a lot longer in midair, and he also gains a lot of height from like slip boosts and bounce pads and whatnot. And you'll be seeing me abuse Light Pack for quite a few secret breaks in this run. So yeah, that's the fast cycle. You can't make that with Light Pack. That's it for World 1. It's time for World 2 now. So World 2 is going to be this first level is going to be really, really fast because there's a really big skip in it. So to start here, I'm going to grab Night Pack, and then I'm going to go underwater to grab Light Pack, and turn around and go use this slope here to boost to the ending section of the level. Grab the sledge, let's grab around the slope boost, break this box, and then let's grab in between that boost and roll the wall there, and then let's grab hop into the gold platform without opening the gate. That skips the gate in that level entirely. It saves like 35 seconds. It's a really big skip. So there are some Galvis gates that are skippable. The one in this level, unfortunately, is not. It's close to being possible, but not really. So instead, I'm just going to have to collect 80 pack dots like you're intended to. But I can still kind of speed this level up a little bit by using these bounce pads to get to the higher section of the level early. Just kind of get up here. So the reason why you can't skip this gate is because you need Light Pack to get past all these bounce pads. With normal pack, it's just barely not possible to get to the end of the level. On the wrong side there. There we go. But this level is an even bigger tease because The goal platform for this level is actually located right behind the beginning of the level, but it's not possible to get there from the beginning of the level. You can't slow boost to it or anything. It's barely not possible. And so the skip would save like over a minute if it were possible, but unfortunately I do have to go through this level the way. And this is actually a somewhat challenging level because you do have to collect a lot of dots. And there's a lot of sections like this section where you're going really fast and all these slopes are everywhere, and it can be really hard to control after to get all the dots you need. But I'm gonna have enough here. Yeah, I have 3 reserves. That's not great, but it could be way worse. I could have cut it really close there. I often may want to have like at least more than 5 reserve backup at the end there, because that allows you to skip out on having to go out of your way in this section. I'm gonna have to kind of go back here a little bit to get some extra backup. Alright, yeah, it's just enough. So here's the bowl, so I'm going to be kind of collecting the pack dots on the outside first and then just kind of make my way towards the center. And then it used to be kind of a crapshoot as to which way you have to go in order to get out of the bowl, but a little while ago I found a setup that allows you to easily get out of the bowl, where if you just remember where that power pellet that I grabbed is, and then just boost a little off to the right of it, you'll make it out every time. So this is one of the longer levels in the game. It's just under a minute 20. Now that's time to move on to the first boss fight in the game. So Galva's boss fights are pretty straightforward in this game. You just kind of have to eat 3 power pellets to make Galva's eatable, and then you can eat them, and you have to do this goal 3 times. The power pellets are always in the same spots, so I know where they're all going to be. So, on the 3rd power pellet though, I am going to wait for Galvas to get closer to me so that I don't have to like chase him down after I make him eatable, because that can be really annoying. And right here I'm going to grab Night Pack so that it's easier for me to get this underwater power pellet, and also I can break that box so that it's not in my way. Alright. And it doesn't really matter because again, I have to wait for Galvas at the 3rd power pellet anyways. I'll grab that normal pack on the way, just to make things a little bit easier. All of those. Even, and that's it for World 2. Alright, so now we're going to be moving on into World 3, which is where I would say the run really starts to pick up in terms of difficulty. So this first level is difficult because there's an early cycle I want to make in the next section that's requires me to play really well for the first like 40 seconds of the level. And also I need every pack dot from this first section of the route, or else I lose about 5 seconds in the next section. And it's really easy to make tiny mistakes here that cost you either the cycle or a pack dot. And these ghosts are completely RNG, so sometimes they're just in your way and there's nothing you can do about it. So far though, I haven't made too many major mistakes, so I should be fine. Right. Oh, I missed that pack dot, that's unfortunate. So I'm gonna have to waste 5 seconds in this next section. That's not too bad though. So, if I hadn't missed that one pack dot, I would be able to skip this car by just doing ledge grab hopping between these platforms, which I'm still doing here, because why the heck not? But I am going to have to go to this next platform here, because it's not possible to get there without the car, and I need 1 extra pack dot now. But now that I have those, I can just skip the car entirely, because you get a slow boost to these final 2 second platforms to get the remaining pack dots I need. Yeah, if I hadn't missed that 1 pack dot after getting these pack dots, I would have exactly the amount I need to finish the level. That wasn't too bad. Managed to back that up pretty well. So next up is 3-2. There's a variety of ways you can go about the beginning of the stage. I'm going to be going about it kind of not necessarily the fastest way, but definitely the easiest to do fast way. Where I'm going to be kind of grabbing Night Pack here, and then I'm going to keep them on the way back. You can actually skip Night Pack in this first section, but it's really hard to save time with it. And I need underwater pack dots in order to get through the first Galvas gate. And also this just makes the routing for the second section work out a lot better. So you can actually skip this normal pack card coming up ahead. I did not mean to miss that pack dot. That's fine though. You can actually skip that normal pack card and skip having to eat Blinky in this section. However, normal pack moves way, way faster than Night Pack, and so it is actually worth it to go out of your way to eat Blinky in this section. And he moves in the same way every time, so provided you're in that pack at the right time, you can feel there. And, okay, I'm 1 pack dot short again. There we go. Alright. So Next up is 3-3. This is a very cycle-based level. There's a lot of moving platforms, as you can see from the very beginning here. And you need pretty decent movement to stay on the fastest cycles, but there are a few that are pretty lenient. This first section here is actually somewhat lenient, as long as you have decent control over Pac-Man. So that cycle, that's the fastest platform cycle you can make through. Well, it's technically not, but that's the fastest platform cycle that's reasonable for RTA. I've tried looking for a cycle skip in this level, I haven't found one yet. But anyways, this section is just all about minimizing the amount of time you spend waiting on these platforms. So I only grabbed 3 pack dots from there, and then I'm going to grab all those pack dots and make it back on without missing my ride. Just kind of wait here. I'm going to head over here, and now here I have to play decently well. I have to be pretty fast here in order to make another platform cycle at the end here that loses around 6 seconds if you miss it. Unfortunately, once again, the movement is pretty linear, and you have plenty of pack dots to spare in that section. There we go. So that's the fastest cycle you can make in that level, realistically. A faster cycle might be possible, I don't know. So, this level, I'm going to be pretty stingy with how many pack dots I collect. I'm going to try not to miss any in this route, because it will allow me to save time at the very end of the level. And in this section, it's not like there's a whole lot of room for error anyways, because there's only 3 spares in this section. But I'm still going to try to get every single one. But if I miss one and, like, go past it too far, then, if I go, like, too far out of the way, then I won't bother to go back for it, usually. I boosted in the water there to grab normal pack, again, just because normal pack moves so much faster than night pack, so it's better to just go out of the way to transform back. But I go through this entire section with night pack. This section is really hard to get through without missing any pack dots. Should be fine here. Alright, I haven't missed a single pack dot, that's really good. So here is the roller coaster. This roller coaster is kind of an auto-scroller. It's about a minute long, I'd say. A little under a minute long. And there's no way to skip it, because you need 80 pack dots to get past the final gate, because there's no way to skip that gate. However, once I reach 80 pack dots, I'm going to do something a little special to kind of skip the car ride here. And this is why I wanted to not miss any pack dots, because it would allow me to do the thing I want to do a lot sooner. Oh no, I died. Except, oh wait, I'm back at the checkpoint and I have all 80 pack dots. Yeah, that saves a little bit of time. The game is going to autosave here, though, because my life count changes. That also happens if you update a score of any kind. So now it's time for the World 3 boss. I would say that this is the hardest boss level in the game, especially to do fast, because this first phase requires kind of going back and forth like that. It's easy to fall through the walls and fall off the edge. And I use life hack there to kind of fly around the level like that. This second phase is extremely hard, because it's easy to get hit by Golbus and then just fall off the edge. If you die in a boss level, you have to redo the entire fight. The purpose you get hit by all this way, like the damage you're doing. Right, second phase went well. So this third phase, I have to time when I eat the power pellet so that I can keep Golbus stunned for as long as possible, so that it's easier to dodge him. There we go. And then should be free and done. So that's it for World 3. Now we're moving on to World 4, Flaming Fortress, which I would argue is the hardest world in any percent. This first level is, I want to give a shout out to my boy Pinball Wiz 45B, because it's essentially Pac-Man pinball on steroids. This level is really bad. Pac-Man just kind of gets launched all around the place, and you need every pack dot in every section in order to get to the end of the level. Which makes missing pack dots in this stage really bad. And there's also a platform cycle I want to make at the end level that's really, really tight and really hard to make with all the mistakes that can happen. And loses around 3.5 seconds if I miss it. I should be on pace to get it, actually. Alright, I made it. Very nice. So this will allow me to get a 52-second IL time. Okay. So I can go over here. And I need to get up here to hit this button to make all the balls fall down. There's no way to get that button early. Alright, nice. 4-1. Next is 4-2. This is a pretty straightforward level. It's easy to take damage in this level because there's a lot of obstacles in your way. There's not a lot to say about this level, for the most part. I am going to damage boost here, though, to kind of get past all these rolling things. And here I'm going to grab Light Pack here and use Light Pack to skip most of these bounce pad platforms. This does put you a little bit shorter on pack dots, but there's plenty of dots in this level, so it's fine. Alright. This section is kind of annoying, but these falling walls make it really easy to get hit. It's hard to escape them in time, especially when you want to collect all the pack dots you need. This is actually a section where using the brake button, because of all the tiny ledges everywhere, using the brake button here is actually pretty nice to stop packing in place just so you can like regain control of it a little bit quicker. Right. That was pretty good. Right. So now it's time for 4-3. This is one of my favorite levels. So first of all, I'm going to be boosting across these platforms here. This is a strap on by Twister 98. That actually doesn't save any time because I'm bound by a platform cycle after this first gate. Yeah, you can't make that platform cycle that I just missed, but it makes this cycle a lot easier to make. You can make this cycle without the boosts, but it's way more lenient with the boosts. I'm going to boost into these bounce pads to get enough momentum across these gaps, and this next part has a really cool movement right here. Off of that second bounce pad, that actually saved like 2 seconds. It was an overlooked strat for a really long time. Alright, really good 4-3. Alright, now it's time for 4-4. This is the hardest level in any percent, in my opinion, because it's about a minute and 15 seconds of this long downward spiraling path. You can't fall from higher sections of the level to lower sections like you can in later levels. So you just kind of have to go the entire way around. This is a really hard level because it's really hard to go through this level fast without dying. Because a lot of these boosts are really, really risky. As you can see, the boosts I'm doing around corners where there's a lot of slopes are really risky. And it's really easy to just hold the wrong angle on the control stick and then just have Pac-Man flying to his doom. And the checkpoints are actually really spread out in this level, so it's... Oh my god, I nearly just died there. Okay, I'm gonna play it really safe here, because I missed the checkpoint earlier. Alright. So as you can see, yeah, this is just a really difficult stage. Alright, so here you're supposed to ride these bounce pads all the way across, but Namco was stupid and put ground inside here, so I don't have to do that. Right here, I'm just gonna I haven't hit. There's no more checkpoints for the rest of this level, by the way, so I'm gonna kind of play it a little bit safe here. You can't skip any of these platforms, by the way, so I kind of have to switch between holding back and forth. If you just try to hold forward, you'll die. Alright, I played a little bit sloppy in some sections, but I managed to get to that level without dying, and that's all I care about. Alright, next up is 4-5. This level contains another strat found by Juster98. Can we get some pack attacks in the chat for him? And this strat actually is a really big time-saving strat because it ends up being really useful for this level in particular. So you can actually boost at the exact same time that you're grounded on a bounce pad or lava, and that allows you to enter the boost state, and that's going to be used heavily throughout this level. First of all, in this bounce pad section, it'll allow me to skip a bunch of these bounce pad ramps here. It's actually, the timing is really, really precise. And I'm going to be using a lot of lava boosting and damage boosting to skip most of these falling towers here. As you can see there, I'm just boosting with the lava. That's fine. There is a platform cycle in this level that I want to make, but it's not a huge deal if I make it. Alright, so coming up is the biggest set of lava boosts I'm going to do. I'm going to be skipping these falling towers. Alright, I'm going to grab this health. And I'm done. Okay. So I actually missed the platform cycle that I wanted to get, so that's going to cost me around, like, 7 seconds. Could be worse, though. Alright, I've got one more set of lava boosts to do here, and I have exactly enough health to where if I get a lava boost here, then I cannot die. Perfect. Alright, so other than missing the cycle, that went pretty well. Alright, so now it's time for the World 4 boss fight. So this first phase used to be RNG, but then I discovered that you can just slow boost straight to these power pellets like that. Because Galvus can rotate the platform in like 4 different ways or something. So that kind of eliminates almost all the RNG for that phase. Here, Galvus can rotate the platform clockwise or counterclockwise, and I got the better of the 2 RNG patterns. The it's faster by like a couple seconds. Unfortunately, this does mean that the platform will be not stabilized by the time the third phase starts, so this could go any way from there on down. And for this third phase, I don't even have to worry about it. I can just grab those two power pots and that's it for World 4. And now time for World 5, Galvus' Fortress. This is actually a world exclusive to the Wii version of the game. And something I should probably point out here is if you've been paying attention up until this point, only one level has had a major skip within the first 4 worlds. In this world, every single level has a really big skip of some kind. So in this level, as you can see here, the gold platform is right next to where you start. You'd think I'd be able to slope boost it right now, but I actually can't because there's a bunch of invisible walls surrounding that platform. However, if I get light pack in this first section, which actually requires going to that first gate, then I'll be able to boost off of one particular slope that'll give me enough height to clear that entire distance and land on the corner of the gold platform. This gets the second and third gates of the level and saves around 45 to 50 seconds. As you can see, yeah, you just save a lot of time by doing that. So now it's time for 5-2. So here, I can actually use falling to get from higher sections to lower sections and skip huge portions of this level. And I'm going to do the third gate skip of this run, which involves, I'm going to use this kind of particular slope here too. I messed it up. Yeah, there's a kind of steep slope here, and you can use it to boost like that and gain a big amount of height and land on that gold platform early. And now it's time for 5-3. This level is very long and very difficult. But you can mitigate most of that with skips. And now it's time for 5-4. This is one of my favorite levels in the game. So this level actually has a gate skip that saves around 10 seconds. However, because this is a marathon, it's not really marathon safe, so I'm not going to go for it. It's really difficult and really precise, and if you fail it, you die. So I'm just not going to bother with it. I'm going to take the time loss from going around and collecting pack sets. There is a cool cycle skip I can do here, though, where I can skip time and wait for those gears. Oh god. Nearly died there. So here I'm going to skip more cycles on these platforms by going across the corners of them like this. Oh no! That's a really bad death. Yeah, so that's the earliest, that's like the latest checkpoint there is in that section, so I have to go through all that again. I was actually barely on 23 pace there, so that might have just cost me 23, and now I have no idea what my cycle can be like for the rest of this level, so that's going to be fun. Yeah, if you mess up your timing there, it can be really hard to recover. Alright. There we go. So I have to wait on these things. So there is another big skip in this level, though, and it's actually coming up here. So once I get past this hammer here, which will probably kill me, never mind. So I'm just going to kind of yell at this. Okay, I saved that. I've never managed to save that in a run ever. That's supposed to kill you. So what I did there is you use that light pack and those bounce pads to skip to the final gear of the level. You actually don't want to land on a tooth that has a boost pad on it, because normally when that happens, you just boost straight into your death. However, if you crouch it just the right time, then you're able to save it. I've never actually pulled that off in a while before. That was really sick. Anyways, here's the final boss. Like all the other boss fights, power pellets appear in the same spot, so it's just a matter of getting to them quickly. So yeah, there are 2 phases to this final boss, however, so there's going to be an unskippable cutscene once I'm done with this phase here. So yeah, if you're interested in running this game, I'll kind of plug it a bit more after this run, but yeah, I'm kind of the only person who really runs this game seriously, so please consider running this game if you've enjoyed this run. This is a very enjoyable game to speedrun. This final boss is kind of cycle-based, so as long as I get everything done in the right order, I can stay on my classic cycle, I can complete this level somewhat comfortably. And once again, I'm going to be using that braking mechanic to keep hackers from flying off the stage after I boost these ghosts. Alright, here we go. So timing is going to be when I eat Galvus for the final time, so get ready for that on my mind. soon, and time. Alright, my timer says 24:15. So, the world record for this game is a 22:58 by me. So, yeah. Alright, so that's a Pack-and-Roll Remix. As you can see, very short and fun and enjoyable game. So, if you enjoyed that run, and are interested in learning this, first of all, I would highly suggest joining the Pac-Man Discord. We have a Discord server for all of the Pac-Man games that you can speedrun, including this one. And also, I have a full any % tutorial on my YouTube channel if you are interested in learning this game. And you can always hit me up to ask me questions. And yeah, so with that, that's Pack-and-Roll Remix. Thank you all for watching, and I will throw it on over to the host.